Okay, now I have jQuery document.ready method on place for team section. And as per this documentation code, first I have to select the parent div which has all hyphen carousel class. I'm going to index.html file. In our case, the parent div is this div which has an ID team-members, right? And I have already attached the all-carousel class to this parent div. So I need to select this parent div inside jQuery. I'm going back to script.js file. Okay, inside this document.ready method, I'm going to select a div which has team members ID. I'm going to select this div with its ID, and its ID is team-members. And you know from jQuery lectures how to select an element using ID. I'm going to write $, and then I'm going to write opening and closing parentheses. And to select an element using ID, you write #, and then you write ID value. And in this case, the ID value is team-members. And this should be inside quotation marks. Okay, so by this way you select an element by its ID. Okay, I just selected this div using jQuery with its ID. Now I have selected this parent div inside jQuery. Next I have to perform an action on it. I'm going to write dot, and the action is to add all carousel plugin. If we look at all carousel documentation, I have to add all carousel plugin, and it is very simple. I just need to add this all carousel method. I'll copy this all carousel method and I'll attach it to this team members selector right here. I'll go ahead, I'll save my changes, and you can see that the slider starts working for team section. Perfect. Okay, I think I need to display navigation dots for this slider. So I can slide these carousel items using dots. There should be navigation dots, but right now the dots are invisible and I have to make them visible. As you know, I have added an optional all.theme.default.min.css file. I am going to open this default CSS file. This is default styling file of all carousel plugin, and this file provides styling for navigation controls like dots and next and previous buttons for all carousel slider. Now what I am going to do, I need to copy this CSS class all-theme, and I will add it right here to this parent div right here. So now we have two CSS classes attached from all carousel plugin. The first class is all-carousel and the second is all-theme. By this way, this default CSS will be applied to this carousel div, right? I'll go ahead, I'll save my index.html file and I'm going to refresh my web page. And now you can see that we got dots for this slider, and we can slide team members through these dots. Perfect. Okay, I'll get back to my script.js file and I'll close this default styling CSS file. Perfect. Now we have working slider for team section. Next, I want to customize this slider. I want this slider to display only 2 team members, and it should be autoplay and some more options to add. Let us customize this slider. To customize this slider, I have to pass a JavaScript object with some properties to this all-carousel method. And you already know how to create JavaScript object from JavaScript lectures, right? You can go back and you can rewatch JavaScript lectures where I taught you how to create JavaScript object. Now I am going to create JavaScript object inside these rounded brackets. To create JavaScript object, you write opening and closing curly braces, and inside these curly braces you define object properties. The very first property I want to define is items property, and I want to display only 2 team members at a time. The value for items property is 2. I'll go ahead, I'll save my script.js file, and I'm going to refresh my index.html file, and now you can see that there are 2 team members being displayed. If I set it to 4, it will display 4 team members. If I set it to 3, it will display 3 team members. But I have to display 2 team members, so the value for items option will be 2. So now we have 2 team members. Perfect. So by this way you pass JavaScript object to this all carousel method, and inside this object we pass properties, and items is a property. If you want to check out the options available for all carousel plugin, you can visit the options page of all carousel documentation. I'm going to visit the options page of all carousel documentation. This is the options page of all carousel plugin. On this page you can find all the options available for this plugin. Like I just used items option to display only 2 team members. On this page I have loop option, I have option for nav, I have option for nav text, I have option for autoplay, and many more. Let us use this autoplay option to make team members slider to start automatically. I'm going to add autoplay option separated by comma, and its value is true. I'll go ahead, I'll save my script.js file, and now you will see this slider will be automatically played. You see? Now this slider is automatically played. Perfect. Okay, next I want to set the speed for this slider, and to set this speed I will use smart speed option, and I will look for smart speed option, this one. Now I am going to set the speed for my slider, and for speed I'm going to use this smart speed option. I'm going to add smart speed option, smart speed, and the value for this smart speed option is 700 milliseconds, which means it will take 0.7 second to slide. Perfect. Now it is taking 0.7 second to slide. Perfect. Next I have to loop this slider, and to loop I have a loop option, this one. By default its value is false, but I'll set it to true. Now I am going to add a loop option, and its value is true. And now you will see this slider in loop. Now it stops and it will start again. You can see that it just started again. So the loop option specifies that the slider will start over again every time it is finished. Okay, I will continue adding some more options. I want to pause this slider on mouse over, and I have option for that, and I have this option. Let me check. This one. I have this autoplay hover pause, and this will pause the slider on mouse over. I'm going to add this autoplay hover pause option. I'll simply copy this option, and I will add it right here, and its value should be true. So it is going to make sure that this slider will stop on mouse over. Its value is true. And now if I mouse over on this slider, it will stop, or you can say it will pause this slider. And now you can see that this slider is in pause state and it is not sliding on mouse over. Perfect. Next, I want to display next and previous navigation buttons for this slider. And for navigation, I have nav option, this one. By using this nav option, we can show next and previous buttons. Now I'm going to add nav option and its value is true. I'll save my script.js file, and now we got previous and next buttons for this slider. Perfect. Okay, now I have these navigation buttons and I don't want to display these dots, and I can easily disable them. For these dots, I have dots option. Let me show you. I have this dots option, and by using this dots option, I can easily hide the dots. Now I'm going to add the dots option and its value should be false. So by this way you can see that the dots are gone, and now we only have these buttons. Next, I am going to customize these buttons. If you look at the wireframe, we have to display angle left and angle right for these buttons. Let us add angle left and angle right for navigation buttons. So now what I have to do, I have to change the text for these buttons. I mean, I have to replace previous text with angle left and next text with angle right. And to change the text for these buttons, I have nav text option. Let me show you. I have this nav text option. By using this nav text option, I can change the text of navigation button. And the good thing is HTML is allowed for this option, and I have to pass an array of 2 values. Let us add this nav text to this slider. I'm going to add nav text option, and it is going to accept an array with 2 values. So by this way you can define an array, and for this array I will define text for previous and next buttons inside these brackets. And for angle left and angle right, I am going to use font awesome icons. This is font awesome angle left icon, and this is font awesome angle right icon. Let us add these icons. So we are allowed to pass HTML value to this array, right? The first value I am going to add is angle left icon. So I am going to put I element like this way. I'll write I, and now I am going to attach font awesome classes, and font awesome classes are FA, and for angle left I have this FA-angle-left class. I'll copy this class and I'll add it right here, and I will close my I element like this way. I'll go ahead, I'll save my script.js file, and now you can see that we have angle left for previous text. Let me replace or add the angle right. What I have to do, I have to simply copy this HTML markup, and I will add angle right icon separated by comma like this way. All I have to do is to replace the left angle class with right angle class. Perfect. Now we have angle left and angle right for previous and next buttons. So by using this nav text option, we can replace the text of previous and next buttons. Perfect. So this is the code for angle left and this is the code for angle right, simple. And this is an array and we are passing two values to this array, right? This is the first value and this is the second value. Okay, in this lecture we integrated carousel slider feature to team section and we have slider working for team section. We still need to work on it. I mean, we will apply style to this slider to make it look more professional, which we will do in coming lectures. I'll go ahead, I'll save my project files. Okay, that was about adding jQuery slider feature to team section, and in next lecture I'll start styling team section. I'll see you in next class. Thanks.